So first of all, I want to say just how wonderful it is to be here. And I looked on the web and saw what the event is and what it's about. And I just want to say, I think it's so important for us to have gatherings like this. And if you haven't seen the watershed, the wetland, please go. I feel like the story I'm about to tell, we should all be knee deep in the wetland to tell this story. But in order to tell this story about Care of the Earth, it's called The Keeper of the Rain. You're going to need to clear your hands, free your hands if you can. I know putting down a chocolate donut is really, really hard, so maybe between. But if you can, there's a couple points in the story at the beginning and near the end where audience participation is welcome. And what you are going to be is a thunderstorm. How many of you can put that on your resume? All right. So basically, at some point, I'll start over here, and I'll just start making a gesture, and you mimic that gesture, and then I'll make another gesture, and then you mimic it when I'm pointing this way, because you come in when I start looking at you. And we do this, let's just give it a try. We start with this. So only do it when I come around to you. Okay?
Oh, sorry.
Here we go. And then when I go like this, you stop. Good. All right. That's it. That's it. You now put this on your resume. This is a story that I learned from a dear friend and colleague, Meyers. I don't know if it really happened this way, but I do believe it's true. Not long ago, in a place not all very different from this, lived the keeper of the rain. And the keeper of the rain would watch all the plants and the creatures. And if they drooped from thirst, the keeper of the rain would whisper the word that brings the rain. And the rain would come. And the rain would fall and fall. And the keeper of the rain would listen for the rivers and the streams to swell to a roar. And then whisper the word that stops the rain. And the waters would quiet, and the plants would grow tall, and the creatures would thrive. One day, after many, many days of this, the keeper of the rain grew weary. It had been so long a time of them paying attention to all the creatures and the plants, and they were tired. Now they knew that a new keeper of the rain had been born, but they were still just a child, and it would take many years for them to grow into the position. But the keeper of the rain said, I don't have many years. So they went to the child. They went down to the pond, and they could hear splashing and laughter coming from the pond. And she went through, looked through the cattails, and there was a boy standing knee-deep in water, and he plunged his hands down into the muck, and he brought them up with mud and cattails and crawfish wriggling. And they laughed and laughed and laughed in delight. The keeper of rain said, oh my, he is so young. But she remembered, so was I. So she walks over to the boy, and she whispers for a few minutes into the boy's ear. And then she stands up, and for the first time in a long time, she smiled, and then she walked away. And the boy looked up and watched her go, puzzled by what she said. And then the crawfish in his hand plopped in the water, and he forgot all about it and dove back in. And when he had been playing in the cold water for a while, until his lips turned blue and quivered, he stomped out of the water, across the sand, and he found his sun-warmed rock, lying there waiting for him. And he basked in the sun. And that rock was as old as rain. And the boy would tell his stories about peeping frogs, and he'd watch the leaves sway in the breeze, and he would tell his stories, and the rock would listen and rumble a laughter in that low, rumbly way that rocks have. And after several days, the boy would again play in the water till his lips turned blue and quivered, and he'd stomp off, and he'd lie basking in the sun on the warm-sunned rock. And then one day, the clouds came over, and the sky grew dark, and the air grew chill, and a drop of rain began to fall on his back. And the boy stood up, said, "I don't like rain." And he remembered the words that the keeper of the rain said, and he whispered the word that made the rains go away. And the clouds dispersed, and the sun returned, and he was happy. Several days of this, the boy would play in the water till his lips grew blue and quivered, and he'd walk through the water and the sand and the cattails and bask lying on the rock. And if the rain ever came, he would simply whisper the word that sends the rains away. And after many days of this, staying in the water till his lips grew blue and quivered, he lay on the rock, and the rock asked, "Have you noticed that the leaves are turning yellow?" And the boy sat up and looked around, said, "I like the color yellow." And the rock said, "They need rain." "I don't like rain." "I know," said the rock. The boy continued days and days of playing in the water till his lips grew blue and it quivered, and he'd walk across and lay on his sun-warmed rock. And the rock asked, "Have you noticed that the leaves are turning brown?" And the boy sat up and looked around. "I love the color brown." "They need rain," said the rock. "I don't like rain," said the boy. "I know," said the rock. And after many more days, the boy was lying on his rock, and the rock said, "Have you noticed that you have to walk further and further from your pond to get here?" And the boy looked up startled and said, "Who moved my pond?" The rock said, "No one did. It's shrinking. It's dying. It needs rain." And the boy listened. It had grown so quiet. He said, The frogs aren't peeping. Where are the frogs?" And the rock said, "Frogs need rain to live. Everything does." And the boy felt a heavy weight on his chest as he thought about this. And he could feel the warm sun on his back that made him feel so good. And he felt the ache in his chest that made him feel so awful. And he spoke the word that brings the rain. And the rain began to fall. And it fell, and it fell, and it fell. And the boy listened to the rivers and the streams until they roared. And then he spoke the word that makes the rains go away. And the waters were still, and the plants grew tall, and the creatures thrived. "I still don't like the rain," said the boy, "but I love my pond." "I know," said the rock. "I know." Isn't a story about how we are all rain keepers, pond keepers. We are the stewards of this beautiful planet. And we have to get past whatever that ache may be in our heart, whether it's changing the way we eat or the way we fuel our cars and our homes. We are the keepers of the planet, and we know. Thank you.